Hello everyone, welcome to Cherry Clips. Today I will be sharing a movie named Miss Granny. If you compare a woman to a ball, then a woman in her teens is a basketball. To get the ball high up in the air, every man reaches for it as hard as he can. A woman in her 20s is a rugby ball. Several men attack the ball like dogs trying to take possession of it. A woman in her 30s is a ping pong ball. The number of men going after the ball is significantly reduced, but the amount of attention paid to the ball is still decent. A middle-aged woman is a golf ball. There's only one man for one ball, and the man tries to send the ball as far away as he can. And beyond that, she's a dodgeball. Why is there discrimination against seniors? In a college classroom, a teacher is discussing the topic with his students. A charming young girl says she will kill herself before she's 30. She doesn't want to live till her 80s and have a sloppy life. Nancy had the same idea when she was young, but she gave up the thought because of her son. Now, she's 70 years old and works in a coffee shop. The university professor we introduced just now is her son. He's a seniors problem expert. Nancy is so proud of her son. She brags about how successful he is in front of everyone. Nancy was born rich. She ran away with her lover and got married young. Her husband died in a war. Nancy raised her son by herself and never got married again. Parker used to be employed in Nancy's family. Now he works with Nancy in the same coffee shop. He had a crush on her when they were young. He still has the same feelings for her. That's why he is always by her side. Parker got married once, but his wife died, leaving him a daughter. His daughter is getting older, but remains single. Parker is faithful to Nancy. Even though she's wrinkled and tempered, he keeps in mind her habits. Nancy is hostile with others and not easy to get along with. But Parker believes that she has a soft heart. On the contrary, Nancy doesn't care too much about him. After all these years, she doesn't know he's allergic to peaches. Nancy lives with her son and daughter-in-law. She's been extremely picky to her daughter-in-law. Nancy's grandson Jack is in a band. He considers music as his dream, but he skips classes to rehearse. When his mother educates him to focus on his studies, Nancy scolds his mother. Nancy spoils Jack and supports him to play in the band. She gives him lots of pocket money. Nancy also has a granddaughter. She graduated but is unemployed. She does nothing but watch TV in her room. Nancy's daughter-in-law has a hard time dealing with the situation. She has to endure the picky mother-in-law. She has to worry about those rebellious children. She relies on medicine to remain calm. In order not to distract her husband from his work, she carries the pain by herself. One day when Nancy got home, her daughter-in-law passed out on the ground. The doctor diagnosed her with depression. If she gets too stressed out again, she'll need open-heart surgery. As they all know, it's Nancy who causes the pressure. The members of the family vote if Nancy should be sent to the nursing home. Jack resists the proposal, but his father and sister outvote him. Nancy hears about the discussion in the corner. Although she's devastated, she still shows off to the others how wonderful her son is. She defends her son that he is doing her a favor. It's better for her to hang around her peers in the nursing home. After work, she cries alone at the bus station. Her grandson Jack calls her. He finished the rehearsal and feels hungry now. Nancy promises to take him and his friends to a chicken soup restaurant. Yeah! Yeah! On the other side of the bus station, there's a Forever Young portrait studio. A poster of Audrey Hepburn is hanging on the outside of the window. She looks so gorgeous and elegant. Nancy is attracted by the poster and walks into the studio. She wants to take a photo before she gets uglier. It'll be her portrait at her funeral. Nancy chats with the photographer. When she was young, she was as pretty as Audrey Hepburn. She was quite good at singing, too. Even a theater director begged her to debut. Nancy sighs with emotion. How time flies. The photographer says he can take photos of her 50 years younger. When Nancy steps out of the studio, her bus leaves. She runs very fast and catches up with the bus. A hooligan hits on her. Nancy isn't aware that she has turned into an energetic young lady. After she sees her reflection in the hooligan sunglasses, she can't believe her eyes. It's time to meet with Jack, but Nancy can't get close to him. This is all too crazy. Nancy goes back to the studio. Oddly, the place is a restaurant. The owner confirms that she opened the restaurant 10 years ago. There's no photo studio around. Nancy can't go home like this, so she sleeps in a public bathhouse. Nancy is missing, and her son is worried sick. He looks for her in Parker's place. Parker comes up with some theories. Nancy might be abducted or sold to the countryside. Parker would sell his house if the abductor asks for ransom.
집을 팔아? 그럼 나는? 난 뭐 백구령차 계집애 들어가서 살까? 아니 아빠는 어떻게 딸내미를 걔만큼도 생각을 안 해? 집사람 있냐라!
Nancy's grandchildren suggest to report to the police. Their mother disagrees. Her husband is the senior's problem expert. If the public knows that his own mother runs away from home, it'll ruin his career. Nancy wakes up in the bathhouse. She realizes how young her body is. It occurs to her that fate has given her a gift. She must make good use of this second chance to make up for regrets. Nancy isn't stingy anymore. She changes her hairstyle. She buys her favorite clothes and shoes. It's like a fairy tale. Nancy rents a room in Parker's house. When Parker asks her name, she calls herself Audrey. So from now on, we'll call young Nancy Audrey as well. It has been decades, so Parker doesn't recognize her as young Nancy. Old habits die hard. Audrey kills her day in the coffee shop as usual. She goes on stage and sings a classic song. Jack looks for Parker in the shop. He's moved by her song. A young producer named Rex is attracted by her singing. Rex holds an audition looking for a music band, but he's sick of idol groups. They're not good enough to touch the youngsters. When Audrey sings, Rex sets his eyes on her. She is exactly the one he's looking for. Audrey hides from Jack, so she runs away before they talk to her. Jack learns from Parker that Audrey stays in his house. He invites her to join his band as a lead vocalist. Audrey couldn't say no to her beloved grandson. She also wants to chase after her dream as a singer, so she says yes. Audrey takes part in Jack's rehearsal. Their heavy metal music is a disaster. Audrey says music should touch people's hearts, not the ears. According to her advice, the band changes its style. Audrey's fresh and bright style wins lots of fans. Their band is invited to perform in a nightclub. Finally, they can make ends meet. Audrey enjoys the feeling of being young again. After days of waiting, Parker reports Nancy missing to the police. The officers pull out the surveillance camera footage. Nancy withdraws money from the machine. Parker notices that the umbrella she uses is exactly the same one that Audrey uses. He searches Audrey's closet when she's out. After he finds Nancy's shoes and dentures, he concludes that Audrey abducts Nancy. Later that night, Parker plans to control Audrey and question Nancy's location. Instead, he's taken down and tied up by her. Audrey confesses to him that she's Nancy. It takes him quite a while to remember young Nancy's face. He buys her words finally. Audrey sends Parker to deliver a message to her son. She's taking a vacation and she will be back when the time is right. Parker lies to them that Nancy decides to get married to him as soon as she comes back. Rex runs into Audrey on the subway. He follows her on her way home. Audrey is cautious. She catches him sneaking around. Rex accidentally rips her button off when he tries to stop her. Audrey calls help from the police. The police take him away before he can explain himself. Months later, Audrey and her band audition for a TV show. The producer happens to be Rex. Rex shows her his badge and convinces her that he's the producer. He recommends her band to shoot for the live TV show even though her band doesn't have any experience. It goes without saying, their performance is outstanding. Audrey stands still on the stage in the spotlight. She holds the mouthpiece steadily. Her sound is free and light. She sings with her whole heart. All the pains and happiness, all the miseries and joys flash before her eyes. All the memories carved in her mind, all the dreams surround her. Audrey's life experience is devoted to the song. The audience can feel it. Their eyes are filled with tears. The song is moving. Audrey's band becomes a hit after the show. They celebrate their success by surfing in the park. Parker tags along because he wants to keep close watch of Audrey. He plays strong in front of the youngsters to impress her. Audrey's foot gets hurt during the surfing. Parker checks her wound. He finds that she gets old when she bleeds. That's the way to go back to her old self. Parker and Audrey's intimate interaction infuriates Parker's daughter. She blames Audrey for seducing her father. She throws Audrey out despite Parker's objection. Audrey has nowhere to go. Rex calls her right then, so she goes to his house. Rex wonders what kind of boy she likes. A man who takes care of his family and is good in bed.
잘하면은 괜찮아요?
Rex passes out before Audrey is drunk. She sings a lullaby for him. Rex arranges an important show for Audrey's band, but Jack's composition is not good enough. Rex criticizes him ruthlessly and plans to replace the song. This hurts Jack's self-respect. Audrey calms him down and encourages him to start over. She also advises him to keep business and personal stuff separate. Jack goes back home and works hard on his new song. Finally, his song is approved by the producer. Audrey gradually falls in love with Rex. She acts like a little girl and feels the butterflies. She's looking forward to a future with him. When she confesses her feelings to Parker, he is jealous of Rex. On the day of their big show, Jack picks up his guitar from the repair shop. To avoid the heavy traffic, he rides to the concert. Unfortunately, he's hit by a car and sent to the hospital. Audrey insists on finishing the show without Jack because it's his dream for everyone to hear his song. If he was conscious, he would support her. Audrey sings for him, also for her lost youth. After their show, Audrey rushes to the hospital. Jack needs a blood transfusion as soon as possible, and the hospital is short of Jack's blood type. Only Audrey has the same rare blood. If Audrey does the transfusion, she will get old and be Nancy again. Her dream life with Rex will end. Even though Audrey doesn't hesitate, her son recognizes her from her photo. He tries to stop her because she deserves an easier life. Don't go back. Don't sacrifice everything for her child. Don't work at the fish market. Don't marry a man with a short life. Audrey firmly answers, even if I'm born again, I'll live my life just the way I lived before. Even if it's hard, I won't change a thing so that I can be your mommy. Audrey's blood is transfused into Jack's body. Family is not just about the same blood type. It's the attachment and love that bonds forever. Audrey and Rex miss each other in the corridor. A teardrop slides off Audrey's face, along with her dream. A year later, Nancy and her family watch Jack's show together. Nancy's granddaughter is the lead vocalist now. She gets the talent from Nancy. Nancy still argues with her daughter-in-law, but her daughter-in-law fights back now. They find the best way to get along. Nancy catches sight of Rex in the distance. She smiles slightly with a bit of regret. Then she turns around and walks away. She leaves all the memories about him in the past, except the hairpin he sent her. This fantasy film, Miss Granny, was released in 2004. The story's not so innovative, but the emotion is in place. It earns enough tears from the audience. There are two threads along the film. One is Nancy's love for her son. Another one is Nancy's youth dream. I recently watched another documentary. It records an interview with 4 seniors over 60. When they are asked what's the most regretful thing in their life, someone says he regrets caring too much about others' opinions. Someone says he regrets getting divorced later. Someone says he regrets imposing his own idea on his children. Someone says he regrets not living for himself. If you miss it once, you miss it your whole life. If they could go back, they would take more photos. They would dress better. They wouldn't take marriage as the only option. They wouldn't postpone what they want to do indefinitely. Time waits for no man. Follow your heart. In this film, Nancy's son begs her to live for herself. Nancy sacrifices her youth for her grandson again. Her dream is crushed by reality. This is her life. We have to admit that this happens to most people. They can't realize their dreams, and they have to live with it. Is this kind of life meaningless? Not necessarily. Because above all meanings, your feeling is more important. When you're forced to make a decision, no matter how hard it is, choose the one your heart wants. Even though you will give up some precious experiences, and even though your life is not perfect, you will get a regretless life. That's all for today. See you next time.